Hello everyone, good morning, good evening. So today we are going to discuss about backlog refinement and backlog management. So if you're someone who is interested in product management or QA or career tips in corporate, please follow me and comment below what are the different topics to discuss on so that I can take that up in my next videos. And give me your feedbacks which will help me improve my new journey in this field too. So with that said, let's quickly get into the topic, which is about backlog management and backlog refinement. So these are two different activities within one entity, which is backlog. So what is backlog? Backlog is something like pile of work that we kept for the future, that we think to take it up whenever we have a bandwidth. And now it can be because that we planned that work, but because of some priorities, we hold it off that user story and we started working on the new work. So that planned user story goes to the backlog. So that is something that we think to be something that we will take it up in the future. Now due to the continuous changes that we are bringing into the systems or the products or the application, a product owner is somebody who is the owner of this backlog, or we can say he is the responsible person of this backlog. So that brings us to the point that product owner will have to make sure that he or she revisits the backlog every now and then to make sure whatever the stories or the task that we have pending in our backlog is very much valid for us to take up in the coming sprint. Because these changes, there can be many changes that has already come into production, which does not require now to work on any planned stories, because that is already taken care with the new changes. So, or that is no more required to the business. So in that scenarios, we will have to make sure that these stories are updated and correctly closed or removed from the backlog to have a good healthy backlog. And why we need this healthy backlog? But there are two reasons which I could get it, but there can be many other reasons which you could comment below. One of the reason is basically my team, the Scrum team, will be able to understand what is the upcoming work for them for the next sprints, and also for the next PI, what are the different features looks to be, which will give a very good clarity for the team as such in the implementation or QA validation to consider while they are doing any work within that story or within that sprint. Second is this kind of metrics, this kind of backlog will give a very good impression, or it will give a product or a team metrics, performance metrics, to understand how much the team is able to finish the work, where are they, what is their backlog, how much of capacity they still need to complete the work. And also this will be something that a project management team will take numbers, share with the leadership to give them the clarity that these are the things pending at this team level, so that whenever the next features are getting assigned, they can make sure to consider this backlog work also to accordingly adjust, so that they can take up the new work after this work has been completed or being prioritized. So these are the two factors that I could think of, but if there are any other further, please do comment below. So this brings us to the point that backlog management is very core and very important activity a product owner will own and will be responsible for. Now coming to product backlog refinement, it is not just a product owner, but it is a team level activity. That means a team will work with the product owner and refine the stories, or get to know the stories, understand where is the gap, like what is the scope, what is the implementation, what should be the QA scenarios. They can come up with the scenario to understand what should be the expected behavior, and all these clarifications or doubts will be added as an acceptance criteria. again, the team can collaborate with the product owner to get that added into the acceptance criteria. And also there can be sometimes that we may need a product owner may not be having a full clarity on the product expected behaviors. So because there can be like initial product owners who is just new to the systems, they may require some other teams to understand, or maybe we have some dependencies with other teams, so we need that team to give us a clarity how they are planning to work so that we can accordingly take that. So these kind of discussions with other teams is required, like with the business owners, it can be with a legal team, with the finance teams, or with a compliance team, or with any other dependent teams. So this requires a bit of time, right? We need to get in touch with the teams, get the clarity, give us the context and get the clarity of it, and accordingly then we need to add it. So that's the point that I wanted to bring, that generally this sprint backlog refinement call happens at least a week before the start of the sprint. This brings good clarity to the product owner, to the team, and to the dependent or the other teams, that this is the work that this team is going to work on. And while we start the sprint, we have a very good clarity what exactly the story is, what is the intent of the story, and how are we going to bring a user a value to the system by working on this particular story. So a backlog refinement is an activity which is not just a product owner, though product owner owns that, will be organizing the calls, but then it will be a collaborative effort from the product owner and the team to discuss the scope. It can be any questions or any clarity related to that story to start the implementation work. And when the sprint start, you will have a very good clarity to make it to a ready state to start working on it. I hope this video was helpful. If it is so, please comment below what are the different topics, and we will see in our next video. Bye bye.